On the vast land of the African Savanna, two lions with two very different lives have written stories that make nature respect. One side is the king of the Savanna, the powerful ruler, protecting his pride and maintaining order in the wild. The other side is the tyrant of the Savanna, a lone wanderer, overcoming all challenges to survive. No confrontation, no hatred. Each lion carries its own story, a journey of strength, sacrifice and survival instinct in the harsh nature. Let's explore the lives of these two powerful symbols in the wild. Bob Jr., the last king of the Namiri grasslands. Serengeti, the wild land where time seems to stop, stretching endlessly under the bright sun, has witnessed the birth and death of many legends. Among them, there is a king that makes the whole land admire and respect. Bob Jr. With a thick black mane and sharp eyes, Bob Jr. is not only a lion, but also a symbol of power and pure beauty of wild nature. For more than 7 years he ruled the vast territory of Serengeti, protecting his herd and facing countless challenges. But that dynasty was not only built by strength, but also by coordination, patience, and intelligence, factors that helped him and his teammates overcome all challenges in the harsh nature. The story of Bob Jr. is not only the journey of a king, but also a legend, a living proof of the majesty of Serengeti. Under the bright Serengeti sky, where the grasslands stretch out seemingly endlessly, Bob Jr. was born into a large and powerful pride of lions. From an early age, he showed that he was different from the other cubs. Although weaker and smaller than when he was born, Bob Jr. possessed a fierce fighting spirit. With the devoted protection of his mother and the teachings of his elders, he gradually matured, learned how to hunt, deal with enemies, and integrate into the harsh life of the grasslands. When he reached adulthood, Bob Jr. began his journey to find his place in the harsh hierarchy of lions. Possessing amber eyes, a large black and yellow mane, the male lion named Bob Jr. was nicknamed the Lion King by the staff working at Serengeti National Park, Tanzania. He's also the most famous lion in Africa, when many nature photographers come to take pictures because of his majestic appearance. Many wildlife lovers have nicknamed Bob Jr. the most beautiful lion in East Africa. Together with his brother Marley, they form a strong alliance. The two brothers wander through the arid fields, where danger always lurks from enemies such as hyenas or rival lion prides. However, solidarity and intelligence help them overcome the first challenges in their journey to assert themselves. The dawn on the Serengeti begins with a beautiful picture. The sun rises from the horizon, the orange-yellow light spreads, covering the vast grasslands with a shimmering layer. The dew drops on the grass leaves reflect the light, shimmering like small gems. A gentle wind blows, causing the grass to tilt slightly, creating soft waves that stretch to the horizon. The quiet atmosphere is suddenly broken by the resounding roar of a lion. It is the challenge of an alliance of 3 male lions, the rulers of the land near the Talek River. Bob Jr. and Marley, though outnumbered, stood tall in the twilight. Their eyes cold and determined. The dry grass beneath their feet shook with the powerful steps of the challengers. Each lion in the rival alliance was large, his mane resplendent with an air of authority. After hours of fighting, the opponents finally gave in, fleeing their territory. Bob Jr. and Marley, now exhausted but not without victory, stood on the newly won ground. Their roars echoed through the night. Announcing the beginning of a new dynasty in the land near the Talek River. Bob Jr.'s dominance is marked not only by his roars, but also by his control over all the females in the area. The lionesses from different families are now under Bob Jr.'s reproductive authority. When mating season comes, the Serengeti becomes a theater of life, where courtship, hunting and mating are constantly taking place. The females choose Bob Jr. not only for his strength, but also for his ability to protect his cubs. The cubs born from this reign carry strong bloodlines, the genetic traits of one of the most elite leaders of the Serengeti. Month by month, the cubs grow up under Bob Jr.'s strict protection and the devoted care of the females in the pride. The members of the Lion Alliance are very altruistic towards each other in all situations. However, when it comes to mating, they are different. Male lions are very selfish. They will try to take as many female lions for themselves as possible, and at the same time try to prevent their brothers in the alliance from mating with the females. This is the male's instinct. The lion world is a world that favors strength. The stronger the lion, the more opportunities to mate. This is beyond doubt. However, there is no clear social hierarchy among male lions in the same alliance. A weaker male lion can also win the right to mate, as long as he has the opportunity to possess a female lion. The weaker one has less opportunity to mate than the stronger one, but is not completely deprived of the right to mate. The afternoon on the Serengeti grasslands, the still air was filled with tension. In the distance, a large herd of buffalo slowly moved across the land near the Talek River. Their curved horns glinting in the sunlight. This was the target of the pride. Bob Jr. stood at the head, his eyes sharp, leading the herd closer, each step cautiously like golden ghosts gliding through the tall grass. The buffalo, large and powerful animals, were not easy prey. But with the absolute coordination of the pride, the lions knew they could take one down. Mali, with his vast fighting experience, signaled the lionesses to surround him. The females quickly dispersed, each taking a strategic position, while Bob Jr. and Mali took the lead role in attacking. Roars echoed across the grasslands, declaring the pride's victory. The herd quickly gathered around the kill. The young ones, curious and excited, approached, but were guided by the females to wait. This was their first lesson in sharing the kill and their roles within the herd. The Namiri grasslands, which had witnessed the glorious victories of Bob Jr. and Mali, now fell into a somber silence. The two brothers, with their magnificent black manes and rare bravery, had ruled the Serengeti for 7 years, building a mighty dynasty. But nature was always cruel, not allowing anyone to hold the throne forever. March 2023. A morning like any other. Bob Jr. and Mali were patrolling their territory. But the peace was broken by the appearance of 3 young male lions. They came from the east, full of strength and ambition, their eyes burning with desire to gain control of the territory. A battle was inevitable. Bob Jr., estimated to be between 10 and 13 years old, was no longer at the peak of his strength. Mali, the loyal brother, was still ready to rush into battle alongside his younger brother. The roar echoed across the plains, signaling the clash between two generations. The three young lions charged in, strong and passionate. Bob Jr. and Marley, despite their experience, were unable to withstand the overwhelming power of their enemies. In a tragic moment, Bob Jr. was surrounded by two attackers, while Marley had to face the remaining one. Deep bites to Bob Jr.'s neck and body left him collapsed. One of the three attackers, paradoxically, was his own son, a son of royal blood. It was a betrayal that nature coldly inflicted. The laws of survival do not allow loyalty in the world of lions. Marley, with his last breaths, tried to save his brother, but could not overcome the strength of youth and overwhelming numbers. His roar was interrupted by pain before falling beside his brother. As the sun set behind the Serengeti horizon, the reign of the two brothers Bob Jr. officially ended. The morning on the Namiri grasslands, the sun shone as if to reveal a new chapter of the Serengeti. The bodies of Bob Jr. and Marley were left behind as a testament to the fierce battle the day before. But nature did not stop to mourn. The cycle of life continued, and the victors now claimed the throne. Three young lions stood proudly on a high mound, overlooking the land they had conquered. Their pelts gleamed in the sun, a symbol of the strength and ruthlessness of their new generation. They had overcome every challenge, defeated two once unbeatable foes, and now the Serengeti belonged to them. In the distance, Bob Jr.'s pride of lionesses gathered near a thicket. The females did not approach, merely observing from a distance, as if assessing the shift in power. Bob Jr. and Marley's cubs hid behind the females, their eyes wide as they watched the victors. Though a dynasty had ended, the Serengeti continued its endless rhythm. Today's victors would become tomorrow's targets, and so the story of power, survival, and succession would be written forever on this majestic grassland. Dawn broke over the vast steppe. The first rays of sunlight penetrated the morning mist, shining on the golden fur of Red Roar, the legendary lion known as the Tyrant of the Red Road. Its thick black mane was dazzling. Its eyes were as sharp as fire. Every step it took exuded the majestic aura of a king. Red Roar was not just a lion. It was the living symbol of this land, the ruler that no one dared to challenge. But today, Red Roar's fate was about to change. From afar, a rifle was silently aimed straight at the king's heart. The gunman was a cold-blooded poacher, his eyes glued to the scope, ready to pull the trigger. Red Roar was completely unaware of the lurking danger. It slowly walked across the red grass, its ears twitching slightly at the scattered chirping of birds. Red Roar lay motionless on the blood-stained grass, his proud eyes now closed forever. But the silence did not last long. The chirping of birds, the timid footsteps of the surrounding animals, all seemed to blend into the farewell song of the legendary King of Red Road. Red Roar was born on the red savanna of Kruger, known as one of the harshest reserves in Africa. As the son of a strong male lion and an experienced female lion, Red Roar showed outstanding strength and intelligence from an early age. In the pride, he was the largest cub, always leading his brothers and sisters in games or hunting. When he was 2 years old, Red Roar had to witness the first tragedy of his life. His father was killed by another male lion in a territorial war. This forced Red Roar and his brothers and sisters to leave the pride, learning to survive on their own in the harsh environment. In the early years of independence, Red Roar quickly learned to hunt, avoid threats, and become a ruthless warrior. At the age of 3, Red Roar began to realize his ambition to become a ruler. He challenged an adult male lion in the Red Road area, a land rich in resources and home to a large number of prey. Unlike many other male lions who only defended their territory, Red Roar continuously expanded his territory. Within 2 years, he had defeated at least 4 other male lions and controlled an unprecedentedly large area in the history of the reserve, with his rare black mane and roar that echoed for kilometers. Red Roar became a legend, known as the Tyrant of Red Road. After dominating the Red Road area, Red Roar did not stop at defending his territory. With boundless ambition, he began to expand his power, challenging other male lions in the neighboring areas. One of the most memorable battles was when he confronted Makoa, an old but still powerful male lion who ruled over a large and stable pride. Red Roar, with his youth and thirst for power, challenged Makoa to a fierce battle. The battle lasted all day, with each pounce and each bite shaking the savanna. Makoa, despite his age and experience, could not withstand Red Roar's superior ferocity and strength. When Makoa was exhausted and collapsed, Red Roar delivered a fatal blow, biting his opponent's throat, ending the reign of the old lion. Taking over Makoa's territory and pride, Red Roar began to assert his dominance. But his brutality was truly revealed when he discovered that the pride had lion cubs, descendants of Makoa. For Red Roar, these cubs were a potential threat, a vestige of an enemy that he could not accept. In an act of mercy, Red Roar bit each cub to death, leaving no trace of life in the bloodline of the defeated one. The tiny screams of the lion cubs echoed across the grasslands, but were quickly silenced by Red Roar's claws. The female lions in the pride could only bow their heads in resignation, knowing that resisting Red Roar meant death. After this cruel act, Red Roar began the process of building a new generation. He quickly mated with the female lions in the pride, ensuring that the next generation of cubs carried his bloodline. The bloodline of a tyrant that no one dared to challenge. Every time Red Roar roared, the female lions bowed their heads in submission, and the young males in the vicinity did not dare to approach his territory. Under Red Roar's rule, the lions in the Red Road area were no longer just a small community, but a crowded empire, where Red Roar left an indelible mark on his descendants. With his overwhelming strength and dominance, Red Roar created a powerful pride with an unprecedented number of females. Among the lionesses in the pride, Kalagadi stands out, the loyal mate and the one who is most attached to Red Roar. Kalagadi is not only a powerful beauty, with her silky golden fur and sharp eyes, but also an excellent hunter who helps ensure the food supply for the pride. From the first days of Red Roar taking over the pride, Kalagadi has shown absolute loyalty and become the only lioness who dares to face the brutality of the king without fear. Not only is Kalagadi a mate, but she is also a wonderful mother. During Red Roar's reign, Kalagadi gave birth to more cubs than any other lioness in the pride, with more than 15 surviving to adulthood, an astonishing number in the wild. Kalagadi not only raises her cubs, but also assists other lionesses in caring for their young, becoming the core factor in maintaining the unity of the pride. Despite her reputation for being brutal and cold, Red Roar always shows special care for Kalagadi. In rare moments, when she is not hunting or fighting, Red Roar is often seen resting next to Kalagadi, enjoying the peace in the middle of the savanna. When the pride is facing danger, Red Roar always prioritizes protecting Kalagadi and her cubs, regardless of the danger. The death of Red Roar, the tyrant of the Red Road Savanna, was not the result of a natural war, but the product of human greed. It is rumored that in order to kill Red Roar, a wealthy hunter paid a huge sum of $75,000, a high price to take the life of a legend. The money was not only used to hire local guides, but also to bribe poachers, ensuring that the legendary lion would be lured away from his territory, which was protected by international law. A large amount of bait was used to lure Red Roar away from the safety of Red Road, making him an easy target for a fatal shot. Instead of facing Red Roar in a fair fight, the hunter chose the cruelest way. After being shot by a poisoned arrow, Red Roar did not die immediately. He endured more than 48 hours of agony, with each step a torture, as his body gradually weakened from the wound. His last resounding roars were not only painful, but also a warning of the injustice and cruelty that humans were imposing on nature. As the leader of the lion pride, Red Roar not only protected his territory, but also maintained the balance in the ecosystem of the savanna. With its death, the pride is at risk of disintegration. Herbivores will overpopulate, and the ecological cycle will be broken. Let the story of Red Roar be a profound lesson that every life in the wild is precious and must be protected. Do not let numbers, material values, overshadow our responsibility to this planet. A king has fallen, but we still have a chance to protect the remaining wild kingdoms.